From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's Voice Briefing. It's Tuesday, November 5th, 2024.
I'm Frank Witzel with the Detroit Free Press. Despite Monday morning's rain and overcast skies, weather forecasters are predicting a mostly dry and warm election day in Metro Detroit with a record-setting daily high temperature and gusty winds. Hold on to your ballots, meteorologist Steve Freitag joked. It's going to be windy. But no rain, experts said, could be good for voter turnout. In southeast Michigan, the National Weather Service is expecting mostly overcast skies with a slim chance for rain. During daylight hours, it should be dry with temperatures in the mid to high 70s and winds up to 40 miles an hour. Temperatures could reach a new all-time high, surpassing the 74-degree record from 2022. It's unclear whether that could be a factor in voting behavior, but a 2017 study, When the Heat is On, the Effect of Temperature and Voting Behavior in Presidential Elections, suggested that temperatures could have some effect on turnout. The study looked at correlations between temperature and voting using data from presidential elections from 1960 to 2016 in each state. It found that with each 1.8 degree temperature increase, turnout also increased by 0.14%. The study also theorized that heat could affect voting behavior. More heat tends to agitate voters, making them upset with the incumbent party, while the good weather effect tends to lead to more favorable judgment of government.
This is Christina Hall with the Detroit Free Press. More than 3 decades ago, Hussein Murray was shot during a robbery by 2 men inside his Hamtramck jewelry store. Despite taking a bullet in the chest, he told Hamtramck City Council 2 years ago. Murray kept his business, Gold and Glitter, in the Wayne County Enclave, telling Council he loved Hamtramck, the first city he came to from Lebanon, because his father was there. In a cruel twist of fate, the 72-year-old beloved husband, father, grandfather, and brother lost his life more than 3 weeks ago. This time, Oakland County authorities say, to 2 men in a robbery inside his Rochester Hills home, about a 35-minute drive from his jewelry store and pawn shop. In his basement, he was slain by a pair who were permitted entry after authorities say they posed as DTE workers checking for a supposed gas leak. The duo left with at least 2 items the county prosecutor previously revealed, a cell phone and a watch. 2 men are facing charges in the case. They were denied bond and have preliminary exams scheduled for mid-December. A neighboring clothing store owner in Hamtramck who knew Murray is still stunned by his slaying October 11th. She says he was a man with a gold heart who often waved to her near their downtown stores. She knew Murray for decades and ran to help after he was shot at his store in 1991, where his brother also was wounded in the shootout. Murray's first cousin, who owns a different jewelry store in Hamtramck, worked at his cousin's store doing sales and security for about 4 years after the 1991 shooting, saying one incident wasn't going to hold his cousin back. He said his cousin started from a suitcase in the jewelry business, opened a store, moved it across the street, kept expanding, and brought his family into the business. He says Murray was, quote, like a monument to us, end quote, and the backbone of the family.
For the Detroit Free Press Autos team, I'm Jamie LaRoe. General Motors engineer Donna Rorabaugh loves to solve problems and build things. In her job, she helps GM make the production processes it uses in its factories to assemble vehicles. But Rorabaugh's real passion is engineering gingerbread houses. It might sound trite, but these are not your average gingerbread houses. They are extravagant works of sugary art. Some are 4 feet tall and have electric lights in them. Her creations have made her well known throughout the gingerbread competitive world. She's been on Food Network twice, competing to build elaborate gingerbread houses on live TV and coming in second place both times. Rorabaugh started making the houses when she was 13 years old. Now, 45 years later, she estimates she's made about 100. She's won or placed high in 19 major competitions across the country, including the National Gingerbread House Competition. Rorabaugh said figuring out how to make a complex gingerbread house growing up inspired her to go into industrial engineering. For more on the story, go to freep.com.
Find more from the Detroit Free Press on freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thanks for listening, and you'll hear more from us tomorrow.